Well, good afternoon, everyone. Episode 49 of Chris and Brick, and check out this smart man's little tie. I think that's a pretty cool Monday morning tie. I like that color. Looks very sharp, my friend. Looks good against your, your tone as well. Really brings out your brick. So good for you, man. I like your taste. You got good taste. Listen, episode 49 is going to be a little bit of a hodgepodge because there's a few specific items that we want to talk about. Brick's actually got one specific that he's got some opinions about, and it's regarding sleep and meditation. And it will actually relate to some of the challenges that I run into from time to time. And he's been really kind of working with me and walking me through how to get through that and become more adept at being able to fall asleep and stay asleep in a healthy manner. So I'll talk about that here in a minute. Before I do, though, I also want to mention that my mom did call me this morning to make sure that I wasn't picking on the Kardashians. She's been watching the news reports. And, I mentioned yesterday that I have been told by my doctor that I need to not be having too many Kardashian videos. I don't really mean to bash the Kardashians. It really could have been anyone that's been in the news a lot. And typically people that have been in the news a lot for things that I consider absolutely ridiculous. Like, oh, look, Justin Bieber just sold a pair of socks or something like that. It's the things that really someone dedicated a tremendous amount of time and energy to report. I mean, literally full page articles on how somebody bought a new car and they made it in the shape of a transformer or something goofy like that. That's just stuff that just I like to poke fun at because I think it's a waste of energy, and I'm shocked that people get paid for it. I mean, I won't pay for it because I think it's trash, but that's just because that's the way I think of that kind of news. I want to know about things that I think are going to be really valuable. Don't get me wrong, I'm entertained for a minute, but not entertained enough to where I would fork out money for it. That's why I say things like, I'm not going to pay a subscription fee to find out that Tiffany Haddish has a busy life and she's happy with her love life. Who really needs to pay for that? I could walk out on the street right now and talk to 20 people, and I guarantee you 5 of them will say, I have the same amount of busyness and I have the same amount of happiness in my love life, and they won't make me pay them a dime. So that's why I mentioned the Kardashian thing, because while the article that I mentioned was really pretty silly in and of itself, the other 3 articles that I actually had lined up were equally as silly. And so and I try definitely to pick on things like my mom. The reason my mom called me out was because she said, Kim Kardashian has done a lot to help incarcerated individuals who were incarcerated inappropriately get out of jail. And you know what? That's actually a very notable and noteworthy cause. And I would definitely not want to diminish that, because I really do agree with that, with that message, and with that, somebody with her, sort of influence being able to make some things happen in that space. So truly, I don't mean anything other than to say there's also a lot of trash written about you guys, and I'm going to make fun of that. So, you get the good with the bad, but to me, they're both good. So anyway, and of course, thank you for Mom for keeping me honest and keeping me, on the straight and narrow. That's what moms do, and my mom in particular is very good at it. So I'm pretty happy about that. So let's circle back here for a second. So lately, because I've been doing a lot of videos, I've been doing 2 podcasts. I do one on Chris and Brick, the personal edition that you're experiencing right now. And then I also have the Chris and Brick business edition over on LinkedIn. And there's a channel for it on YouTube as well. So I spend a lot of time in the editing space, adding, layover photographs and things like that. And just making sure that the material is what I want it to be. And then on top of that, I also have a couple other things that I do. I have at least 2 other people that I either am in talks with creating a new podcast, or I'm currently participating as a guest participant in another podcast. And these sometimes go on for hours. And so, as crazy as it sounds, there's not a lot of physical activity, but the mental activity is incredibly draining. So lately I've been going to bed at like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. And for me, that's early. I usually go to bed at like 12 or 1 a.m. Just because I've been that way a long, long time. The problem is that when I go to bed at 9:30 or 10 is that I'm waking up at 3 o'clock in the morning, and then I can't fall back to sleep. Or if I can, it takes several hours before I can fall back to sleep. Like today, for instance, I woke up at 3. I was up until about 6:30, 6:45. I fell back asleep, and then before I knew it, I woke up, and it was 11:30 in the morning, which I feel like I'm a million hours behind now. So anyway, and I mean, obviously it's almost 3 o'clock in the afternoon Eastern time. So, I just, talking to Brick has turned me on to some different meditation methods. They take anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes. They're very simple. They just involve some breathing, some relaxation, and they also they seem to work, because I'll tell you, the moment that I am done with the meditation, many times I'm either right at the point that I'm completing the meditation, I'm actually almost asleep, or I become wide awake again. I turn off the meditation guidance or whatever, and then I almost fall asleep instantly. So I really appreciate your knowledge and input in that, Brick. I mean, that's been very helpful. And my sleep quality, by the way, even though my sleep is only for a few hours after that, the quality of the sleep is incredible. So I really am grateful for that. Lastly, I wanted to point out something that I think has been really important. And I know that we're on the backside of COVID, so that's a good thing, I think. I mean, there are those out there that'll say, no, it's only about to get worse. Well, I don't really believe that, first of all. And you can argue with me, from here to Sunday, but my answer is I still don't believe it. But I do believe that we are crawling out of our COVID caves slowly but surely. That being said, for those of us that are not really ready to move out of that space, I can tell you that one of the most valuable things that I have had in my life during this time has been to have a couple little 4-legged creatures running around. I've got Douglas, I've got Gary. Sometimes they drive me absolutely nuts, but I'll tell you what, I absolutely could not be happier that they're in the house, because their little personalities keep me moving around. They give me responsibilities. They are living, breathing creatures, so you can definitely talk to them and not be crazy. I have conversations with them daily where we talk about what they want to do for the day, if it's go for a walk or, just, we'll sit and wrestle. Douglas and I will sit and wrestle with one of his little toys. Gary, I mostly talk to her like I would any other cat, which is just kind of call her a jerk for, knocking things off the countertop and stuff like that. But I wouldn't trade her for anything in the world. She's been an amazing part of my life for more than a decade. So my point is that if you have the opportunity, and there are so many animals out there that could really use a home and someone to really care about them, and only do it if you really can commit yourself to the caring part. If you can't, don't take something home and then take it back to the shelter, or take it back to whoever you got it from or wherever you got it from. That's actually a slimy move, and I got no respect for any of that, and nor should anyone else. That being said, if you have children and you don't want to do the pets, can't say I blame you. That's like having 1 or 2 little pets yourself, maybe 3, maybe 4, I don't know. With a lot more energy and a lot more personality, obviously. So, maybe a pet addition is not for you, but it could be. And if it is, then great. Maybe that'll also give you an opportunity to teach the kids some responsibility and things like that. So, Anyway, like I say, this is kind of like the hodgepodge episode. Just talking a little bit about how to get some better sleep, making sure you guys know that my mom has ensured that I am giving the Kardashians a fair shake, and then also, you know, how to sort of therapeutically treat yourself to some companionship during COVID if you live by yourself, or if you live, you know, in a situation where a little bit more livelihood in the house would be helpful. So anyway, that's our Monday morning, or Monday afternoon rather, Chris and Brick Personal Edition. Look for the business edition to come out here in just a bit. I will post the links to these in the section below the video here. I do ask that if you would, I know I do this at the end instead of at the beginning all the time, but I do ask that you would hit the like and the subscribe button. And appreciate your patronage, appreciate your willingness to watch, and we'll talk soon. Have a good day.